Clarity on Fire, a podcast for people who know what they don't want out of their life and career, but aren't sure what they'd rather be doing.
In a world where it's easy to exist, but hard to feel alive, we, Kristen
and Rachel,
two certified life and career coaches, are here to help you cut through the information overload, get unstuck, and focus not just on how you can have a career you're passionate about, but how to create a whole life that feels fulfilling.
So join us here, where we serve up inspiration and down-to-earth wisdom in a way that only two best friends can.
We want you to experience the relief of knowing that, yes, you're allowed to want more out of your life and career.
And no, you don't have to wander through the dark anymore. Our job is to light the fire that shows you the way. Let's go.
I may live to regret the decision to allow the dog to be in the podcasting room.
I was afraid she was going to be panting really loud, which she does sometimes, and then you'd hear this like in the background, which would be real creepy. But she's okay.
She's just laying here staring.
Confused, but quiet.
I feel like she's actually less likely to freak out if she's here and she gets to be part of the experience. So
welcome to Scarlet.
It's Rachel and Scarlet. It's Cragelet.
Cragelet.
So here's a magic 8 ball that a blog from 2 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah, a little less than 2 years ago, I think.
Okay.
End of 2018.
Why did you pick this?
I actually think it's more relevant now than when I originally wrote it.
Well, that's because we are prescient.
Yeah, right.
Big vocab words for you right there, too.
Got some SAT words in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's about actively paying attention to what you want versus what most of us do, which is passively paying attention to all the things we don't want. There's a lot of stuff going wrong this year. I think that's just a fact of 2020. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to pay attention to things that you don't want and don't like. Mm-hmm. And so you have to really actively practice paying attention to more positive things. That's what this is about.
Okay. Update on the dog. She left the room.
You might have heard some little paws on the floor.
I thought that she was going to go yell because there's a daycare right outside right outside my front door. Wow. And they just scream. But children, just like as an aside, children are really good at joy.
They are, and it sounds like they're being murdered. Tortured.
Yeah, so I do not actually have like a farm out front where I torture children. It's just a daycare where children come
they scream in glee.
Yeah, they're chasing each other. They're shrill, they're laughing, they're screaming for no reason other than to just, really express themselves.
It's a very joyful sound to hear, but
they're good at looking at evidence of what they want.
They're
kids.
really good at that.
Yeah.
They can't help it. So we need to practice a little bit more of that. That's what today's episode is about.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy, and we will be back at the end with some further listening.
Stop looking for evidence of what you don't want. You know that uneasy feeling you get when you know you're doing something that's not good for you, but you keep doing it anyway? Maybe you're staying in a job or a relationship that isn't really working, or you keep making excuses for why you don't have time to go to the gym. Whatever is causing you to be out of alignment, it gives you that awful, knot in your stomach, uncomfortable in your own skin, shifty kind of feeling. I've been feeling that way a bit lately. As a coach who's trained to intuitively pick up on these inconsistencies in other people, it's particularly uncomfortable to get this feeling myself. I realized I haven't been the best at walking my own talk in one major way the past few months, so I'm outing myself in the name of getting back on track. I'm forever telling my clients to pay less attention to what they don't want and to focus more on what they do want. In other words, stop complaining about what's not working and start noticing and appreciating what is working. Why? Because what you pay attention to has a huge impact on what you experience. When I follow my own advice about this, my life starts to feel different, better, easier, lighter, more fun, almost immediately. But I'm only human, which means sometimes I'm going to slip back into old bad habits. And lately, I found myself giving more of my attention than usual to the things I don't want. I've been more annoyed about traffic. I've fallen into the trap of pointlessly arguing about politics. I've let my worries take me into a mental downward spiral. I've had the recurring thought, why does this have to be so hard? I've complained about the weather, my busy schedule, the healthcare industry, the state of our country, and the world at large, and on and on. I'll catch myself in the act of doing one of these things, and yet I can't always seem to stop myself. Once you start complaining or arguing about one thing, you tend to find more and more things to complain and argue about, and it's tough to stop that momentum once it's going. Every time I do it, though, I get that awful out of alignment feeling in my gut because I know this isn't me. So I've been consciously working on following my own advice more lately, and I have to say, it's making all the difference. The lucky log. I was coaching a client a few months back named Natalia, and in one of our sessions, she expressed how badly she wanted to start her own business. She excitedly told me about all of the entrepreneurial ideas that she's had. After a while, however, she stopped herself. I don't think any of them will work, though. I'm just really unlucky. So whenever something starts to go my way, something usually happens and screws it all up, she said. When I asked her what made her think she was so unlucky, she immediately listed out example after example of how things never work out for her. Then, when I asked her to give me some examples of times when she did feel lucky and when things did go her way, the phone got very quiet. So I issued her a homework assignment. For 1 week, she had to keep a lucky log, a running list of any lucky experience, no matter how minor, that made her feel like things were working out in her favor. In our next session, she told me the first few days of the challenge were really hard. It felt like she had nothing to add to her list. But as the week went on, it got easier for her to collect more and more evidence that things actually work out well for her quite often. She was amazed. I never noticed these things before, she told me excitedly. I've been feeling so lucky and grateful this week. The weird thing is, nothing has actually changed. I'm just seeing things differently. It just takes a shift of attention. Focusing on what you don't want not only doesn't feel good, it actually rewires your brain to keep paying more and more attention to negative things. It's like you start collecting proof that all of your negative beliefs about yourself, your job, other people, the world are true, and you become blind to experiences that go against those beliefs. It's human nature to want to be right, so you'll unconsciously collect evidence that your beliefs are true, even if you don't actually want them to be true. If you believe that no one in your industry gets paid well, you'll become hyper aware of anyone in your line of work complaining about not having enough money. If you believe that there are no good men or women out there, you'll feel validated in that belief every time you go on a bad date or hear about a friend's breakup. If you believe you're not good at your job, you'll take every bit of constructive feedback or instruction as proof that you don't know what you're doing. Sure, you could continue to believe these things and keep collecting evidence that they're true, but how does that serve you? The truth is, you can collect evidence to support any belief you want. So if these beliefs are making you feel miserable and attracting more miserable things into your life, then why keep building a case for them? What if, instead of collecting proof of what you don't want, you started collecting proof of what you do want to be true? What if you tried your own version of Natalia's lucky log? Building a case for what you want. Think of yourself like an attorney preparing for a big court case. Your goal is to collect as much evidence as possible so that you can present the best, most solid case for what you want to believe. For example, I personally want to start collecting proof that life is working out in my favor. My body is fantastic at healing itself. I easily magnetize awesome people and experiences into my life. Good things happen to me all the time. There is beauty all around me. I bounce back from challenges quickly and easily. People are generally kind and friendly. I attract abundance everywhere I go. Imagine if you decided to collect evidence that these beliefs were true, instead of the ones you've been consciously or unconsciously trying to prove. You'd find a whole lot less to complain about, that's for sure. And you'd also attract more and more things in your life to feel appreciative of. You can't be complaining and feel appreciation at the same time. You've got to choose one. A challenge. In order to jumpstart me back into appreciation mode, I'm issuing myself the following challenge. For 1 week, starting today, I'm going to give up complaining entirely, not a single complaint, for a solid week. And I'm going to start a written list where I collect proof of my new and improved list of beliefs and feel appreciation for each example as I add it to the list. I think it would be awesome for a bunch of us to take on this challenge together over the next week. If you're willing to do this with me, leave a comment to let me know that you're in.
I meant to do this at the beginning, but let's just do it now. We haven't asked people to join our text list in a while.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't even know we do that. It's a quiet little thing we do with the people who have heard us before and when we were originally asking people to sign in.
When was that we started doing it? Maybe 6 months ago?
Maybe more. I don't know.
No, I don't think it was before 2020.
Yeah, I don't know.
2020 has been a really weird year.
I can't.
Well, it doesn't matter. So if you want to get text from us, we text on Mondays and Fridays. And if you want to sign up, there's 2 ways. You can either click the link in the episode notes and just fill out the quick little form, or you can text your first name. You have to do it correctly, though. Your first name, space, email address, to 703-783-3223.
Yeah, so sign up for texting. They're just nice little inspirational texts, or sometimes just a thought of the day.
It's like food for thought. Yeah. Kind of a kick in the pants sometimes, like I didn't really want to think about that today, but I know that was good for me. Kind of like take your medicine. I mean, sometimes that's
It's not always like that.
Well, but I write most of them, and yeah, some of that is my intention some of the time.
Take your medicine, but
also here's just a nice thought, and also let yourself off the hook. I'm not always mean, you guys, for God's sake.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't not sign up because you don't want to kick in the pants twice a week. Sometimes it's very nice.
Just because you don't want me nagging you twice a week. It's not that. No.
So sign up for texting. And we want to direct you to some additional listening. If you like this topic of the day and you want a little bit more inspiration on how to change your mindset.
Wow, all of these ones you picked are old. They're 2 years or more old, except for one. That's... Okay, so a lot of these you're not going to have heard before.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was going for. And also, I don't think we've written about joy a lot lately. Maybe it's just because it's been a weird year.
I haven't necessarily had a year full of it.
I had to go back a little further to find some on the topic.
So, okay, the first one is, so if you need a reminder, just go to the episode notes and we've listed all of these.
These are all linked.
The first one's a blog from May 2018 called How Much Joy Are You Letting Go to Waste?
Then we're also sending you to another blog from July 2018, the most efficient, productive, mood-enhancing thing ever.
I wrote that, but I can't remember what it's about. So enjoy.
It's been a couple years.
This one I really love. A side chat from August 2018 called A Tough Love Smackdown. It's really good.
We haven't referenced back to that one in a while, and it was a good one. So I wanted to bring it back. And then finally, another blog from December 2019 about how to feel more energized at work, but also just generally in life.
Okay. Enjoy. And we will be back on Friday with a new episode with a normal person.
Yeah, this is a really good one with a previous client of mine named Todd, who is kind of an expert, kind of a normal person, hybrid, like they all are, truly.
Nexperts.
I like that. And he is talking about the fact that he wrote a book, which is not a thing that most normal people do.
But you can do.
But you can do, person. Which he has done.
In fact, you kind of only can write a book at first as a normal person.
Exactly. We always think about...
Well, that's not true. I guess you could be famous for something else and then write a book. But you want to know what?
True.
Here's the thing. I don't think that counts because getting published is kind of a given. And then you can get a ghostwriter and a really good editor. It's not nearly as hard as writing a book as a normal person.
Yes. So he wrote a book And his book is all about creativity. So we get to talk about creativity from a lot of angles, from his actual process, also what he learned while he was interviewing all of these different experts about creativity and about entrepreneurship and about just making your dreams a reality instead of just a thought. So he has so much good wisdom to share from his own process, from all the research he's done. This was a great one. So definitely come back and listen on Friday.
All right, we'll see you then.